I'm trying to find the message I sent to Boogie the night before. I said, "Do not pull a gun on Frank. Don't." I said, "Oh yeah, here's what I said. Don't. You'll go to jail, but do whatever you want. Honestly, people do." That was the last bit of advice. He said, "Oh God, where is it?" He said that he may be a comedian, but I promise you, if he shows up, he won't be one anymore. Oh. Fact ends today. And I said, "What are you gonna do? Lol." I guess.
Did you kill him? Lol. I like that you've got your finger in all these pies somehow.
See, now you're going to have to be called to testify if this goes any further. You've got way too much evidence on that phone.
Like Dick Masterstar over here.
I'm a very good testifier.
We'd like to call Dick Masterson to the.
All right. So he knew he was coming the night before. Lay out the sequence of events here.
Well, do you guys know who Frank Hassel is? First, what's your familiarity with Frank Hassel? It's between Zero and Hassel Doctrine.
He does the go up to people in public style content with the GoPros and the asking uncomfortable questions, that kind of stuff.
He hassles people.
Yeah,
that's what he likes to do. He was arguing with Boogie, saying that he was going to sissy hypnotize him. He calls himself Dr. Don Wario, the sissy hypnotist, and he was going to hypnotize Boogie into being his sissy sex slave. These are both large, fat, bearded men, so nothing about either of them is really. Yeah, nothing lends itself to sissy hypnosis, but for some reason, Boogie decided to pretend that this was a real threat, and he went on the kill stream and he went on the kill stream and debated with Frank for an hour. Then he went on Keemstar's show.
What do they possibly have to debate about?
I don't know. One of them thinks it's a joke and the other one thinks it's harassment. That's
Frank,
the debate.
I saw it. It's been a little while in my memory, but it was kind of along the lines of Frank Castle's these are the reasons I don't like you. And if I remember right, Boogie was like, "That's valid. That's not even true. That's not a good reason." Type thing. That's the
yeah. And then Frank posted a picture. Frank was going through Arkansas to see a friend of his, and he posted a picture where the town that Boogie lives in, of a snake, saying, "I'm here, you," something like that. And Boogie took this as you might do. I personally wouldn't take it like this because he's a comedian who hassles people. He decided that means Frank drove 3 states over just to show up at his house and sissy hypnotize him. He went on Keemstar and ranted at Frank for a half hour, telling him that you did come to my property. You're never going to do it. And if you do, I'll put you in a body bag. Really over the top Ultimate Warrior kind of 80s wrestling, which is hilarious. He goes during the interview, he starts doing an effeminate voice and daring Frank to come to his house and knock on the door, calling him a pussy if he doesn't. So what do you know? Frank comes over to his house, knocks on the door. Boogie comes out brandishing his friend's gun, asking if it's locked and loaded and ready to shoot, seemingly having not even a basic understanding of how a firearm works. Exactly. He comes out, tells Frank tells him that he's going to kill him. Tells him it ends right now, that he doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to have to put a bullet in him. I mean, Kyle, you're well versed in guns and defense. It just seems like there's no possible way anybody who's afraid for their life is walking outside like John Wayne, aiming a pistol at somebody who's completely unarmed and recording it, who you've dared to come to your house.
I think so. I wouldn't like that either. I'd probably do pretty much the exact same thing if I were allowed to have guns.
Well, would you get on a stream and dare him to come over?
Oh, absolutely not. I'd get on a stream and let him know the police would be waiting for him if he came. My first option wouldn't be to walk outside with a gun. Certainly, that's the last option. But I also don't like the idea of somebody trespassing onto my property being a piece of shit when they've been told not to come, because they're
absolutely.
But I think the first thing would be the police, and the second thing will probably be something less lethal. But then at some point, he needs to get shot. I don't like the idea of somebody trespassing on my property.
Yeah, here's where it gets fun. Boogie decides instead of shooting Frank Hassel, he's going to shoot his gun at 30 at the optimum angle
firing
for
at
distance.
Alabama instead.
Yeah,
over there.
There's a church in the distance and a middle school, I believe, that Boogie decides to shoot a 44 Magnum round at, as you know, the most distance and the most lethality possible. Which I don't know. I don't think some kid riding his tricycle around the neighborhood.
If some kid got domed, they would have reported on that like quickly, and they would have known. But like something else that like when I was watching it, like if that guy Frank was gonna be scared, it seemed like there wasn't any reason for him to be scared of being shot anymore. Once Boogie said like in 30 seconds, I'm gonna give you a warning shot, and it was like, oh Boogie, why would you say that? I don't know about using a gun in that situation. I've never been in that situation, but I certainly don't think, and Kyle could, give us more information. Kyle, is it ever good to announce you're going to fire a warning shot and then fire it?
I don't know.
No,
like I know how to shoot a gun. I don't know how to handle a scenario like this. This is outrageous. This is outrageous.
Kyle, if you know something about something, you get to be the expert on everything about it.
Okay, I'll make it up as I go along then.
Yeah.
I don't know that warning shots are a good idea to begin with. Like
I mean, if I'm in a saloon and there's not a town that way, fine.
Taylor, you didn't have to take a course on this and pass a test to get your concealed carry license.
We did, but it didn't cover warning shots and stuff.
Yeah, so
like I know that's a bad idea. You're not supposed to.
Did it cover sissy hypnotizing? Was that part of your training?
Look, he brandished the gun.
Don't swallow the gun. Do not taste the gun.
Legally, there's no such thing as a warning shot. That's just a missed shot. And the move to make would have been to call the police. And if he tries to enter the home, right, banging too harshly on the door, like if he thought he was breaking down the door or breaking a window, he could have opened fire. What he did, open the door, go out front, and warning shot, that's sketchy legal ground. I think Boogie's going to get in low grade trouble.
And what they do say in every one of those gun classes is if you're ever in a situation like this, shoot to kill. Don't be that guy who thinks you're going to John Wayne, just whip him in the forearm real quick and neutralize the target. Like, no,
he's going to wing him.
Shoot center mass and just do it. Like, get it done.
He's going to shoot the super chats out of his stream.
Did they do like story time in your concealed carry course, Taylor? There was a great one in mine.
It was more ours was like military guys who were like moonlighting, doing some other job.
Ours was a sheriff. And he's telling this story. This had happened in his county and like while he was a sheriff. And this guy had taken his wife hostage and put a gun next to her head. And he's telling the husband to like hand over his wallet or something like this. So the guy pulls out his little 380 like ACP and he's going to plink this guy in the forehead, right? So he lines it up, shoots, hits his own wife. Shoots her in the shoulder. It did diffuse the situation.
That is so funny.
Yeah, I hope he played it off. He was like, "You see what I did to her? I love her. You don't get out of here right now."
That would be
that's the ultimate like go schizo and be like, and if dinner's ever late again, it's like, and I'll get to you in a minute, sir. Like, just
apparently she teases him about it every opportunity she gets. She's always, like it. Would you make coffee? You did shoot me. Like, you owe me. And she used it all the time.
You did shoot.
There's no coming back from that. You did shoot me. I guess I will take out the trash.
Right, exactly.
So the Boogie thing, what's the next step in this? Like, I'm sure that they're doing a little investigation on the whole situation and the gun firing. Do you know anything, Dick?
Probably nothing. Like who cares about two fat idiots acting like morons together? I don't think I think the DA has bigger problems than some. What I love the most about is that Boogie chose to wear a free Tomb Raider shirt on the day that he was going to murder somebody.
My favorite part was when Frank Castle's outside the house calling Boogie fat. Get out of here, you fat! It's like have you not met you? Why are you throwing that insult around?
Dude, but that guy, like, in the footage of, like, Boogie's Ring doorknob or whatever it was, showing Frank's doing, like, that totally off-kilter crazy person like waving back and forth going, "You gonna kill me? Kill me! Kill me! Open fire!" Wasn't that what he was saying? Open fire!
Yeah, open fire. Open fire.
What a maniac. What a maniac.
He is a maniac. Boogie is the good guy in this situation.
Boogie is the good guy. Let's not forget. Like this thing is very funny. It's funny to make fun of both of them. However, in reality, Boogie's the good guy. Boogie's the guy at his home, probably minding his own business. God knows what he was doing in there, if we're being honest. But
but you don't show up at someone's house. That's
Boogie shot a school. Boogie shot into the air at a school.
Wait, the school part you made up, right?
No, a flight school. Come on.
So, Woody, I did see a photo of this, and who knows if it was some meme or made up, but it was like, here's where the shot was fired from. Here's the direction of where it was fired, and then there is a school zone. But if anything, it's like it's going to go.
I think it was actually a church that he shot at.
Look, Boogie lives in Arkansas. There are schools and churches every fucking where.
Yeah.
Where aren't there schools and churches? All right.
Dude, you can't fire a gun without hitting someone at a school or a church.
And it was a black church, we're being now told. Like, come on.
Authorities will now be looking into this much more seriously.
Yeah,
he's the good guy. He's a bad
fire.
shot. Okay, we'll give you that. But
Bad shot, good guy.
Well, I was talking like just as far as he didn't handle the gun thing well, but the actual act of being.
I like that he has a gun because, like, I watched a little bit. You mentioned that clip that guy uploaded of me giving Boogie gun advice, and it was going back like maybe 3 years or something, 4 years even. And at the time, he'd only shot a .22 pistol, and he was like, "Yeah, I like that, but then I shot a 9mm, one of those man killers, and that scared me." And now I see him on video with a fucking .44 revolver, and I'm just like, he grew up.
I was watching that.
I knew he would.
Single tear.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Did.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, he's got the Magnum out. I liked that video a lot. I've watched it a bunch of times. I've seen so many edits of it where like he fires the shot and then like a plane goes down or something like that. I've seen the image edited so that he's like Benny from that scene. I don't know if anybody knows this from Fallout New Vegas, where Benny's pointing the gun at your head and he's got the two goons on either side. But now it's Boogie in the center pointing the gun at you. It's great for that stuff. And it is funny to have a good time about. But sticking with Woody here, Boogie's the good guy here. Yeah. Boogie's the homeowner minding his own business at his residence.
He's being harassed at his house at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't think the taunting has anything to do with why he got harassed at the end of the day? The Keemstar interview?
I think it's irrelevant. I think that you should be able to taunt someone as much as you want, and they shouldn't literally trespass on your property and come to your home. I think that's crossing a whole nother line.
I mean, I don't know. Somebody tells me to come knock, and I'm a pussy if I don't come knock. I might go knock on their door. Like, this is an entertainment business. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He said, come knock, you pussy. Come knock. You can't drive 4 miles to come knock. Come visit me, friend, or you're a fucking pussy. It was like 10 minutes of that.
Can we pause on this? So I think Boogie knew he had a gun at this point. I know you mentioned it was his friend's gun, but something about a gun can almost make you feel like, well, I can win every fight now, right? I've got this magic laser pistol. I can't be beaten. Come at me. You don't know I have a secret weapon. It's not the way you want to win a fight, but I suspect that was in the back of his mind.
All right. I didn't know he said all that. All right. I'm gonna take at least one half step back from my original stance now, because if you spend and you're saying a long time, like 10, 20 minutes, repeatedly telling someone, come at me, bro. Come to my house, pussy. Fucking knock on the door, bitch.
Yeah.
You might not be surprised when they do, in fact, come and literally knock on your door.
That may be true, but even when I was listening to it, like, it seemed more of him like panicked, like animal in a corner responding, where it was like, oh, you come at me, I'll go crazy. Like, I'll corner me and see what happens. Like, it didn't seem like he genuinely wanted.
One of my favorite Boogie moments, and look, I neither like Boogie nor dislike Boogie. He's somewhere in the middle for me. I don't know him in real life. I've never had any interaction with him outside the show, but I'll never forget when he was on the show and I wish I could quote him exactly because I don't like misquoting.
Oh no, I know what you're going.
I think he was talking about some kind of an incident he had with a guy at a gas station, and he was like, I just got mad, and he just looked at me, and he saw how mad I was, and he was scared. He backed away because I'll just go crazy on you. And he knew, and I remember like me and Woody exchanging this knowing look, like.
Dude, I remember.
I don't care how mad or crazy that man ever gets. It's not going to matter.
Fighting is an athletic endeavor, right? Dick is a fighter. Like, even current Boogie's not going to be a great fighter, and he's more athletic than he was 2 years ago.
That's a generous statement. Not going to be a great fighter.
Not a great fighter. Not one of the greats. He was good.
He's in the hall of very, very good amongst the fighting greats.
Dude,
and a contender.
I remember after that episode with the gas station story, right after it ended, and it was all of us coming up with the titles, you were like, before we name the show, can we talk about that gas station story? What the fuck was that about? Like, there's no way he was scaring people at a gas station. Like, it just...
Yeah, and it implied a greater, like I started making inferences about it in general, like, wow, how far away from the truth is his sense of self, right? If he thinks he's mean mugging people at gas stations, getting them to back down, what else does he think about himself? Is he smarter than Einstein? He's already tougher than John Jones. Well, currently.
Shut up, you. Your anti-Semitic ways, I won't stand for it.
Oh, is that what I did?
No, that's what Taylor did, going after Einstein. Clearly an anti-Semite.
I've been caught. Hoisted by my own petard.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about that one, like something like how unaware, like how much can a man lack self-awareness if he thinks he's threatening at 5?
Yes, and even if you do ever think those thoughts, to say it in front of other people.
On a podcast.
Maybe keep that. Maybe in the back of your head, if you ever thought like kind of a badass, kind of a man's man, high tea kind of individual, you wouldn't be like, and I'm going to go tell a whole bunch of people that I feel that way. Like maybe keep that one to yourself. Maybe let it.
I wish I had thought of it.
Set in a little.
I wish I had thought of it at the time, so I could be like, dude, that reminds me of a story that happened to me today. Actually, I was at a gas station and 2 guys were giving me shit. And they were huge. They were, Boogie, how tall are you? Twice that big. And both of them enormous. They take one look at me. They go, my God, that guy's got his dick hanging out of his shorts. What's he going to do with it? Like, just like,
all your stories should be variants of the college game day parking story. Yeah, there were 6
delivering
freshmen.
Justice.
There were 6 freshmen reserving a parking spot, and I swept them aside.
I threw one from the 5th floor.
I grabbed one's feet and swung him. Used him as a weapon amongst the others.
Yeah, have any of you guys? Wait, let me make sure.
Yeah, but I feel differently about the thing now, knowing that Boogie challenged this man to come to his house because
I need to hear it. Different. I'm basing this on nothing. Dick, are you telling the story straight and true down the middle?
You meet me in my front yard in 5 minutes, and we'll see who ends up on top.
Is it possible that perhaps Frank Hassel was provoking Boogie, and Boogie was kind of trying not to be a total puss on the call, saying, come at me?
This has happened to me before. What happened to Boogie? A guy just being an asshole has come to my house, and a guy who I think has schizophrenia has come to my house. I handled them both by saying, do not come to my house. Like, do not come to my house. Do not come to my house. I answered both with a loaded gun, open the door, shut the door. Because as far as I'm concerned, like, you can go knock on somebody's door and that's like, that's legal in America. I would never have handled it the way Boogie does, which is screaming like the ultimate warrior. It was a mix of this shit ends or I will end it. Don't come to my house, and you're a fucking pussy if you don't come to my house and get your reckoning because I will kill you. It was like straight up premeditated murder on Boogie. It was like the episode of The Simpsons when Homer tricks Flanders into coming over so he can kill him.
Yeah. Like Wiggum and Homer have that whole conversation. Well, if they're in your house, of course you can shoot them.
Yeah.
Hey, Flanders. Inviting him over.
I'm inviting Flanders over.
Doesn't work if you invite him in, Homer. Like, get out of here, Flanders. It's not like that.
That is different. And like your text conversation with Boogie, I'm just thinking like, why would you write that? Like don't you know that's going to end up being like some sort of evidence if you do shoot this YouTuber?
What did Boogie write again? What did
Boogie write to you?
Oh, let's see.
I'd love to hear like word for word because it was hilarious.
Bring him on. I'll read it with him. It's preposterous.
Like
the funniest thing is, go ahead.
First of all, let's imagine a scenario where, in fact, Boogie blew Frank Castle away. All right, and we're talking about the death of Frank Castle right now.
Yeah,
and Boogie's upcoming trial, and the fact that Dick here has been called as both a material and a character witness for both sides, the defense and the prosecution, and his phone is Exhibit A.
Well, Twitter can't lock this account then. Castle Doctrine. He's got it. But Castle Doctrine says after he made a threat once, he's on my property. I literally cannot break any laws. I mean, I don't know if like sissy rape is a threat, but I really don't want to hurt him or anyone. So I really hope it doesn't come to that. But I won't risk my roommate or dog getting hurt. That's just not a thing that's allowed to happen. I said this entire thing is pussy shit. He's a comedian who's making jokes. Open the door with a gun if you want. Driving to someone's town and showing up at the front door isn't a joke, man. Sorry, I don't see it that way. I said, well, don't kill him. You'll go to jail. It's not illegal what he's doing.
Yeah, you're the real good guy here. And I did I knew there was a quote of what I think Boogie said on Keemstar's call. And the guy Frank Hassel put it in his little like meme video. And it says with the picture being Boogie holding the gun, the overlay is Boogie's quote, "I'm going to fucking kill you and take pleasure doing it."
Yep.
And then he puts in quotes under that. This quote is going to be really relevant later in court. So I guess I'm going to fucking kill you and take pleasure doing it isn't the ideal foray.
It's not great to hear you, but in the video itself, like on game day, he's like, I want you to leave. You don't have permission to be on my property. I'm about to fire a warning shot. Like he's really kind of it seemed like he was speaking to the attorneys while Frank Hassel was there.
More likely
in his head, I'm going to fire a warning shot is like, wow, look at how measured this guy is. Where it's like, no, you can't just fire bullets into the air.
He's guilty of something, right? Like that Breonna Taylor case, right? Dude, it is, I don't know, hilarious isn't the word I'm looking for. It's something else that the police didn't get charged for anything for shooting that woman, but they did get charged for missing her. The guy got charged with the bullet that missed her and hit the neighbor's wall, wanton endangerment or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it wonton endangerment?
It's based on the soup, I think. What is it? Wanton? I don't know the word. It's something
very wanton. Wonton. Yeah, because I heard someone else say wonton endangerment. Next.
It's a Chinese law.
That's you're guilty of egg roll assault.
That protest really kind of faded out of nowhere, didn't it? That Breonna Taylor, like that was going to be the mother of all protests, but I don't know.
I haven't been following.
They're not done yet. They're not done yet. Like no. Jesus Christ, like I can't watch ESPN without being reminded about the hardships of people anymore. Like I just want to see how the Braves are doing.
They lit the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Station on fire last week.
Property value actually went up after that.
Yeah, it was helpful.
It burnt out all the roaches.
Yeah, most of the barriers are already here. Yeah, just get a couple of masks, some CO2. We got a business.
It really took care of the rat problem. I don't know. Smells good too.
The St. Louis, did you say police department burnt down?
Yeah, some people threw like fire bombs in there because it was just like Wednesday.
That's funny to me. St. Louis. It takes a lot to make the news here.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't go hang out downtown on the weekends anymore just in case something pops off. Like, I don't want to get trapped.
Desperately want to go down there and just see how dangerous it really is.
Hear me out.
I desperately want you to go
until it's too late.
I will wear a disguise, right? You see where
you cannot wear blackface.
Let's head downtown and
you get your hair squared up again.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't get squared up again.
No, I know you're in town, Woody. I'm just really busy. I can't hang out. I'm gonna stream. Among Us. So I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in proper disguise, nothing could happen.
Ooh, okay.
Thinking ahead.
Have fun. But yeah. Anyway, that Frank Hassel Boogie story has been the most interesting little internet development to me over the course of the last week. And I think you're right. Like, it does. I didn't see, granted, I haven't been on Twitter a lot today, but I haven't seen a lot of new developments. It'll probably just fade away.
I don't know. That would be silly for Frank to let it fade away if he could like press some sort of civil charges or something like that and just keep digging the shit fire.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's good for his views and shit.
Of course it is.
I barely heard of it. This is all I know about Frank Hassel is he's the guy who hassles Boogie. Like that's his identity at this point. Maybe he can springboard this to the guy that hassles other people as well.
Oh, let's hope so.
Right? Hassel, don't come at me. I don't want any trouble.
He's like, no, trust me, bro. I can just straight up murder this guy. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's legal. The cops told me it's totally cool.
This, by the way.
Yeah. Apparently, the journalist organization Motherboard reached out to Frank Hassel for comment. Hassel emailed a photo of a giant piece of shit in a dry toilet.
Dude, you got to watch Frank's videos. He goes around asking people. He goes around with an open pack of hot dogs, asking people if they drop their dogs, and they'll go insane. Like regular people will just start freaking out that he keeps asking them if they drop their hot dogs. Because of the absurdity of it, I guess.
Oh, that's an enormous turd.
It says here, hi there, I'm a reporter with Motherboard, Vice's science and tech site. I'm reaching out to see if you'd be interested in doing an interview about the shooting. Just the only response is a giant turd in a dry toilet.
Look at Frank's URL.
It says gag on it. Good God, how can that? This person has a huge butthole.
Did I ever tell you?
Any poop that leaves my butthole is shaped into something smaller. This is like a baby.
I've never seen a shit like that. You're right. But I remember there was one time I went into my grade school bathroom. I was maybe 7 or 8, and I saw a piece of shit bigger than anything. I had no idea something like that could exit the human body. And I was blown away because to me, I was like, that's an adult poop. Like there's some giant adult must be around here. I went to and I went to my friend's house like a month or 2 later. And I guess he just, as I learned in school, didn't flush his shits. And I went in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. We were doing a sleepover. And it was like OJ's hand in the glove of shit, where I was like, it's fucking you, Michael. You're the big asshole kid. I thought it was the janitor, and it was you. It was you. I never told anyone, but yeah, I know about your big shits, man.
I think Michael was getting raped. and he was leaving those enormous turds as some sort of like pedophile's breadcrumb, hoping that someone would just take note.
And the only person that noticed is, look at that big poop.
Yep. You didn't speak up. You got to speak up and speak out, Taylor. When you see those breadcrumbs, when you see those enormous poops, that's someone's cry for help.
Frank Hassel has been sissy trained. That's what's happened, right? Now he's right. Someone's given it to him with an enormous penis. It's causing him to leave those enormous poops.
Probably. Your friend might have been flushing, Taylor, but
yes,
it didn't go down. He's getting unfairly maligned here.
He is being maligned, and if I talk to him for the first time in 15 years, I'll tell him.
Let's get him on the show. I would rather him be the guest on the show than just about anyone in the world right at this moment. Like, what if we could just like call him up out of the blue? Like, hey, will you video call me? It's Taylor. Yeah, I guess. What's up? And then just immediately confront him about the pedophilia large.
Were you? How often were you raped, sir? We haven't talked since like 2001 or so. It's not an answer to my question. Irrelevant. That's true. We've had him on a number of times.
Although you can't judge him because of the hypnotism that he's been subjected
to. Dude, that would. Oh my God, that would be the funniest defense. Claiming that he was under Frank's hypnotic rule as he fired that.
That's great.
This serious psychic was threatening me with mental control, and when he arrived, there was a force pulling me to the door. I willed with every ounce of my being to roll back, but I couldn't. I had to come through the door.
Can I just say that threatening someone with sissy hypno might be the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That is honestly fucking hilarious. See? And honestly, the name Dr. Don Wario, that's pretty fucking funny.
That's what started all this.
Because I watched a little bit of the clip on his channel where he's just like accosting some old man at a grocery store, being like, "I'm Dr. Don Wario. You haven't been taking your pills." And the guy's like, "Get away from me. Stop bothering me." And the employees are coming up and he's like, "Don't listen to this man. He's crazy. He hasn't taken his prescribed pills. My name is Dr. Don Wario, and he's supposed to be transitioning into a woman. Sir, take your pills. Take your state mandated pills." Like just yelling at him.
Boogie said, telling me he's going to hog tie and rape and kill me doesn't seem funny to me. I'm like, the rape part didn't seem funny to you, Boogie? Come on.
Wait, he said, I'm going to hog tie you?
The very idea that Boogie's flexible enough to be hog tied.
Hog-tied.
Some extension carabiners in there.
Boogie's looking better and better. Like,
he did.
Take it as a compliment.
He looks better than he once did, but although he did weigh more than 1/4 of a ton.
I'm just saying, people clearly want to have forced sex with him, and that never happened before. I think it's
actually not according to court records. Oh man, that was the grossest thing that I'd ever heard on PKA, by the way.
Which one?
And that is quite the fucking statement, right? Like we've gone down some gross fucking corridors.
I watched a guy fuck a chicken on this show.
You yourself have directly linked me dozens of beheadings.
So many beheadings, so much poop chomping. Remember the poop chomper?
Bestiality is the one that burns me. Yeah,
he's wearing the goggles and he's just underneath the lady's butthole, and she must have a very high fiber diet because she's just feeding it to him. And he has this look of pure pleasure on his face, like he's like a kid in the movies who gets their head under the soft serve ice cream machine, and they're just like checking to make sure the coast is clear, and then chocolate and vanilla at the same time, as much as I can take.
Yeah,
but it's poop, not soft serve. So he's just.
Wait, what were you saying about Boogie?
I'm saying that story he told us about that girl that I don't remember if he paid her or what he did to her to make her be there, but having her pop the pimples on his back and talking about the pus and how she liked the pus.
Oh God.
And all that stuff. It was just too real for me. It got too real in that moment for me. I
don't even like remembering it.
I don't like remembering it either. But it comes to me every night and in the late hours.
What causes Boogie to have back knee, I wonder?
It's probably sweaty.
I mean, I hate to be mean, but it's when you don't wash well oftentimes and the pores get clogged. You know, it's a lot of real estate back there.
So you can't reach it, you know. Probably.
Also, he's clearly very high T.
True.
Yeah, I don't even think Sissy Hypno would work on a man like him.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be a fruitless endeavor.
It would probably just rebound off of him and go back at Frank, and he would himself become Sissy Hypno.
It would make Boogie the bull. It would be bull Hypno on him. They'd be trying
Dom.
to, right? Yeah, he would look at the Dom role and adopt that one.
That's what he should see. That's what Boogie should have done. If he'd fully embraced this, if he'd said that, he's like, I'm too much of a man to be Sissy Hypno. Others have tried it, and you'll fail where they did, my friend. It's going to rebound upon you.
That would be
that is the right move. Hindsight's 20/20.
What if he showed up and instead of a gun, Boogie walked out with a quadruple XL ballerina outfit, like a sissy outfit, and he starts forcibly dressing Frank in it. Like what if he'd had a couple of big old boys? What if he'd had like 3 Jeremys there to like get in a tussle with Frank and wrestle him to the ground and start applying sissy makeup to Frank?
Dude, the ultimate way to turn this around would have been for Boogie to open the door with no gun, immediately charge Frank, and start tearing his pants off. Saying,
rape him first.
I'm going to suck your cock, saying it in a robotic voice. And then Frank, who doesn't want his dick sucked by Boogie, is going to be the one trying to escape. This is high IQ.
Frank strikes me as the kind of man who fully commits.
Yeah.
If that means busting a load on Boogie, he's going to do it. I 100%.
No, Your Honor, would this man employ the sissy hypnosis defense for firing the gun when in fact he had sucked Mr. Frank Hassel to completion not 2 minutes prior?
It would be hilarious if Boogie and Frank Hassel started playing gay chicken, and then all of a sudden they're like getting married and adopting children, like each one of them not backing down. I like that.
I do. How about that?
I guess we better go get a marriage license then, huh?
Are we gonna get registered?
I guess both of us better find a fucking caterer, huh? yeah, I bet you will, bitch. You're such a fucking bitch. You won't pick out a caterer. You picked out a caterer. Okay.
Yeah, but you're gonna hate this. I like salmon. Me too. Me too. You like salmon? Not many people do. Yeah. Actually, I love it. Really? Huh?
Yeah, we're gonna have the kind of wedding where people have to choose between fish or eggplant. No chicken, no beef. How you like that? That would be enough for Boogie off.
Yeah, I would have loved that, but instead he came out wielding a 44 revolver. And
I'm gonna take a warning shot in 30 seconds
and fired it wildly into the air. I love that. He's like, I'm gonna give you a warning shot in 30 seconds. Fuck you, pussy. Do it right now. Do it right now. I need 30 seconds. Bang.
And he's even saying it like an unhinged lunatic where he's like, fire it now. Fire it now. Open fire. Open fire. Like it's. It is. I feel like I would never want that visited upon me. Like what Boogie's dealing with here. That's fucked up and that's awful. You shouldn't show up at someone's house.
Taylor, but I keep going back. Well, I agreed with you before Dick came on tonight because Dick gave me so much more information. The fact that Boogie invited this, literally. Now I realize it wasn't.
I understand.
I realize it would be like, yeah, fuck you, come get me. But if I said it once, you might understand. But if I spend like 10 minutes being like, no, fuck you, come get me. You know where I live. Fucking come here. Fucking come at me, bro. You think I'm a sissy? You think your hypnotism will work on me? I've been trained to resist it. Bring it. At some point,
Dick, is that an accurate?
Take your best shot.
Dick.
Go listen to it. Seriously,
we're kind of busy right now.
Oh no.
You will hear the I hate this, don't do this, but every single time it's like also laced with I'm gonna fucking kill you and do it, I dare you, do it. Like if you saw 2 guys rubbing their nipples together outside of a bar doing this routine, and then one of them got socked and goes, call the police, somebody call the police, that guy hit me, you'd go like, you shut the fuck up, you were there the whole time asking for it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm before the show, I was definitely 1,000% on the Boogie side of this thing. But if I'm hearing that, like he kept,
what I'm hearing is Dick's not telling it down the middle, right? In this last time around, he's like, "Hey, you're also going to hear Boogie say, I wish this wouldn't happen. I wish that you would go away." Right?
Yeah.
There were some fighting words in there mixed with a whole lot of, I seriously don't want to fight. Like
yeah, that's accurate. I think that is, I don't think you can mix them. Once you start in with the you're a pussy if you don't show up at my house and knock on the door, and then the guy knocks on your door, it's like, well, I mean, you were kind of asked him to do that, bud. Don't open the door.
He says, you know where I live, Frank. I'm waiting. I'm locked and loaded.
Kyle, I'm sorry, Dick, is this little recap video I linked here?
Is that going to have the podcast that we're talking about?
No. It doesn't have the Keemstar stuff. This is the one that Frank Hassel posted.
That's Frank Castle's video. Yeah, it's a little disjointed.
It's disjointed.
You know,
I would say listen to the whole
I'm
thing.
just scanning through this a bit. Apparently, there's a lot of other footage of Woody wildly brandishing the gun, making crazy eyes. That I'm sure he did.
Woody doing it.
No, Boogie.
Sorry, Boogie.
Okay.
There's a lot of other footage in this video of Boogie brandishing the gun wildly with insano eyes indoors that I'm 99% sure is like taken from some sort of YouTube skit he did. Not a good idea to do skits with your future murder weapon, I think maybe. Like it's the same gun. It's the same gun. And he's like in a house, like waving it around, looking crazy eyes. And then they just edit that in with the footage of him on his step, pointing the gun at Frank with his finger right on the trigger, by the way. Frank is an idiot because Boogie is this close away from fucking killing him. And Frank doesn't realize it. He thinks Boogie's afraid. Boogie is afraid. And he's going to kill you if you push him just a little bit further. He's this close to killing that man.
Boogie, I think he has suicidal thoughts. You know what? As I'm just thinking about this, it just occurred to me. Boogie's really prone to self-harm, right? Boogie makes decisions on his live streams at his YouTube channel with it. Like, he self-sabotages all the time. You know, why does he jump on a bed in the back of his live stream and start humping a stuffed animal or something? It's some way to say that I would never hire a prostitute or no one would ever want to fuck me. I forget what warped explanation he had, but he does shit that he knows is going to have negative ramifications on him. Is this just one more in a long chain of events where Boogie hurts himself in weird ways?
I agree with you. Because that's exactly the feeling that I had when he was asking me what he should do. And I'm like, man, you're being a complete lunatic. Like, this guy's talking about sissy hypnotizing you. Right. Just don't open the door. Like, don't break any laws. But, you know, definitely don't pull a gun out.
Call the police. You can have a gun and sit on your living room couch and feel safe while the police come.
Yep.
Yeah. I had the same feeling as you, that it was just like, this is another dumb self-harm decision that you're making right now.
But he needs to see a therapist.
I'm sure he has.
Well, the worst part is we were going to do a show. Boogie and me were supposed to do a podcast together.
Oh, you guys are starting a podcast? What will you call it?
We were going to reboot The Biggest Problem Show on September 11th. But he backed out at the last minute because, quote, he doesn't want to be involved with that side of the internet anymore. I'm like, okay, well, you got a hell of a way to.
Wait, you got a hell of a way. You were going to do a regular podcast on his schedule?
Yeah, once a month. We were going to do the exact same Biggest Problem format where we both brought in a problem and then argued if it was better or not. And this whole Frank Castle thing scared him off of. He said he didn't want to be part of it anymore. And then he lays into Frank on Keemstar and starts pulling out guns and doing some yard pops. At least he'd have something to sell if we'd have done the show. But, you know, no luck.
Jesus Christ.
Boogie, he needs help. He needs mental help, professional help. He keeps self-sabotaging. He keeps doing these like events that give people ammunition against him. And, you know, like I don't like when people victim blame, right? You know, like everyone's picking on him. So what are you doing to encourage people to pick on you? But in some cases, it's like, it's the internet. I'm not going to be able to change the internet. We can only change you.
Yeah.
I don't get the hate that he gets. Like, everybody really seems to, or a lot of people really seem to just dislike him viscerally, and they're not able to put into words why they hate him. It's weird. You don't see that a lot, but when you do, like when you see so many people just mindlessly hate somebody and not really be able to explain why, it's weird. It's weird to me. I like him.
He went from this swing of, you know, the nicest person that could ever exist, right, to more of a regular person, and they consider that to be like, I don't know, this
blasphemy.
I don't know, this awful turn. Like, oh my God, he said that he would never shoot another person. He'd sooner shoot himself, and then if he were being mugged, than to shoot the mugger, right? Now that's probably untrue.
They were just wildly underestimating how suicidal he was. That was not an anti-gun stance.
Yeah. I think that It's not that I don't understand the fussing people have at all. I just think it just doesn't fit the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed of the crime, he definitely committed one.
Right?
Like reckless, I don't know, it was probably some local ordinance or reckless use of a firearm or brandishing or something. I don't know. It'll depend. It'll depend if they want to actually do anything to him. They may do nothing or they may do something. We'll see. Probably nothing.
Hopefully nothing.
Yeah,
Hopefully
well, I
nothing.
mean,
He doesn't need any more trouble.
yeah, but I want to see stuff happen.
No, hopefully it all just blows over.
How about, if you want to see stuff happen, maybe Frank Hassel does it to someone else and he gets punched. That's the kind of internet drama that I think I'd enjoy.
Just punched?
Repeat ground and pound. Is that okay? Can you work with me?
No.
It's got
Brock Lesnar, you're a pussy, and I'm gonna sissy hypno you.
Can a sissy? I swear to God, that's one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
That is an incredibly funny threat.
That's an incredibly funny. Like, how can you not? Like, if you threatened me with sissy hypnotism, Taylor, like even if I was pissed at you before and I was like legitimately angry, I just like, wait, what? All right, it's funny. All right, it's funny. Please don't.
You come to your house with what, like a watch clock, a timepiece, and swing it in front of your eyes, or however hypnosis works,
and a bunch of sex toys,
and and maybe some outfits. Yeah,
just swinging a string of anal beads right in front of you.
Trump should have threatened Chris Wallace with that at the debate. I think it would have gotten better.